Yo, 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 what is up, friends and family of YouTube? I decided today would be a garage night, and I'm going to tackle draining the fuel out. I'm going to clean my pans up because they're full of brake fluid right now, obviously, because we just did the brakes on this. And I just got the wires in and everything, so I can start putting the center back together, which I'll probably do today. But those are my friends at Naples, NP Boosted. Been running their coil packs for a long time. They were running on a couple of my friends' 900 horsepower Supers just fine, so I figure I will run them on mine, see how they do. The factory ones are down there just in case, as always. Never throw them out or tear them up. But yeah, I'm gonna crack the fuel line below, let it all drain out so I can take the fuel rail off right here. And maybe take the lower runners off. I'm not sure yet. It all depends how easy it will be in this chassis. But without further ado, let's get to it. All right, guys, I cracked her loose. It was really tight. I thought it was cross-threading, but it wasn't. And it's dripping in there. I cleaned my pan out. Thought, what the heck? My snowblower needs some gas. So I'll throw some premium in it from the IS if it's clean. But I'm gonna get that fitting and see how it goes on and take the fuel rail off. Now, there wasn't a lot of pressure. Usually when you do that, hold on guys, there's a lot of pressure. Is it off yet? No. Because the fuel pump pressurizes the lines. This has been sitting for quite some time without the fuel pump being ran, but also this hose is not fully sealed. So when I turn the car on, this leaks. So this whole time there's been a leak in the fuel pressure side because there's no return. So I kind of figured there wasn't gonna be a lot of pressure, but I was cautious about it. Every time I would turn the wrench, I would kind of back away. But yeah, so I'm gonna let that drain and then we'll see how the fitting goes on. It's a 14 for the small flare nut on the fuel line side, going to the tank, and then it's a 19 from the fuel line up to the engine. And it doesn't look like it's going to be a very fun job taking off the fuel dampener, but we got to do what we got to do, right? So I'll show you when I'm down there. So that's all the fuel I got. Not even a teaspoon. Go me. But that's, where the heck am I? That's where it is, right there. So as you can see, I did not cross-thread it, thank goodness. If I did, I would have just ran a, where the frig? There it is. I would have just ran a 6-6 feed all the way to the back. But thankfully, we don't have to do that just yet. So that's what I'm talking about right there. So there's the dampener here. So I'm gonna have to get that off from under here if I don't want to take the lower runners off, which I do not want to take the lower runners off yet. I'm gonna see what I can do here. What our options are. Because the fuel line essentially will probably just get ran up here, like beside the brake lines and such. Probably back here, up behind the starter, because you can see the banjo fitting is right. Can you guys see that? The banjo fitting way up there. You can see it, it's blurry, but it's up there. That's where it is. So we're gonna have to run a line up to that point, which shouldn't be too terribly bad. I don't like the factory dampener myself, fuel dampener, but some people do run it. I'm just gonna bypass it with a -6 AN and call it a day and run a return. Now there is lots of existing lines here that run all the way to the back, which is kind of weird. Not sure what all of them do. This is the feed, obviously, for the fuel, and then I think there's just 2 emissions, but I can utilize them as returns, or I can make my own out of -6 line. I bought 20 feet of it, so I'll probably do that. But let's see if there's any more fuel in here. It might be sealing just by, you know, weight of the hose. So I'm gonna try and open her up and then we'll take the fuel rail off. Always make sure if the line is going to be off for a while or not connected or disconnected, make sure you plug it so nothing gets in there. You definitely don't want to damage your engine for something stupid like that. So just be cautious. I put a rubber vac cap on it and it fits that flare nut pretty good. Oh, and no more fuel came out. That's all I got. Teaspoon. All right, guys, so I got the rear banjo bolt out of the rail. You can barely even get in there. It's so tight. There it is right there. Got it out. It's a 17. And I'm gonna keep the washers just in case, because they're a good washer, the OEM washers, for the fitting that goes in the end of that. And then there's 2 bolts that it's holding in the rail. Should be one right there, and I think one at the end over here. I can barely see it, but it's back there. You can see it right there. Right there. So I'm gonna take those 2 out, and then the rail should come out without any fuss. So let's get to it. Looks like the feed wraps around in the middle here, so should be okay, but let's give it a try. All right, so what I'm doing here is I took off the injector brackets here to get at this bolt here. And I also took off the return, but the return is on the factory harness bolt here, and I can't seem to get it off, so I'm gonna have to improvise here. I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna do. Might take the stud out, I'm not sure. Might bend this till it breaks. I don't know, guys. I just hate when this stuff happens. I mean, I don't know how much is bolted to the intake mani and the block, to be honest. Looks like I might be able to pull it. So I'll try doing that when the rail's off. It'll give me more leverage. But yeah, we're almost done. She's almost out. All right, y'all, she's out of there. Now I'm gonna have to hide those holes, cover those holes rather, not hide them. But since we're already here, this is making me just wanna frickin' do the lower runners too. I just don't know what is all attached to this thing. I do have both gaskets on the way, so that's okay. But if we start there, where do we end? Because if the intake manifold's off, I might as well do the hoses for the oil cooler, right? Because in order to get at those, pretty much intake manifold has to come off. So do I just do it? Or what? And replace anything that needs replaced? Clean up the side of the block? I'm kind of leaning that way. Might get my cousin Jordan over here and he can come help me with this thing. I imagine you would need 2 people, top and bottom, just to make sure you got everything at the bottom that's attached to this thing, right? But I might as well frickin' do it, I guess. Whatever. But it's that much closer. Here's the fuel rail. So I'm gonna go send this off to my buddy and he's going to clean them. We're also gonna get the rail coated. And then the aftermarket fuel pressure regulator is gonna attach here. So right now I'm gonna take off all these clips, 10 mil, take all the injectors out, put them in a bag, send them his way. And now I'm gonna go shopping and buy some hoses, some cooler hoses, oil cooler hoses, and even maybe the oil cooler gaskets. I'm not sure yet what I want to do. Just because it's a pain to get down there with it on. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's not much room down here. So you can kind of see that's where the oil cooler attaches to the block. There's a gasket there, an O-ring. Then there's two gasket O-rings. I'm not gonna be able to show you guys. Basically where that cooler attaches to the housing. And they do leak. They do leak. So I might just do it. That way there's no leaks. And if we put all this together, we're gonna get an oil leak there. Then all this would have to come off anyway, right? So I think I'm gonna do that. So I got a lot done today. The injectors are out. They are dirty externally and both internally, I think, because like, look at that gunk. So getting cleaned is definitely in my best interest from my buddy. I want this engine to run tip top, right? It's pretty hard to destroy a 2JZ, but detonation over time will kill anything. So I want to avoid that. That's probably the cleanest one right there, but they need cleaned. And here are the little seals. I probably could bolt them up back on and be okay, but I'm gonna try and find new ones. Obviously, I've never had to buy new ones because I never put a factory rail back on. But that's what I have with this thing because it can't be tuned with the automatic transmission. So for now, I'm trying to make the best of the situation, which is factory, really. I don't really think I have many options for a drop-in, quote-unquote, alternative. But I will be doing some research today on that and see what I could come up with. CCC, because then I could just buy a nice radium rail, which I had on the Supra, and be done with it. But that probably isn't the case. So going to coating, those little pieces going to coating. Lower runners, probably going to coating. I'll look up the part numbers for these guys while I make the order for the oil cooler hoses, because it's always a good thing to have those on hand anyway. And I think I actually ordered the gaskets for the oil cooler because I do that. So I'm hoping I did that this time because I have an order coming in right now. So I'm going to bag them and tag them, guys. I'm going to bag everything up, the injectors separately, and the seals and the rail spacers. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So on that note, hope you guys enjoyed the video. We're making progress here. We're making progress. I haven't touched this thing in a couple of weeks, obviously, because I have a newborn, which I love and adore, and he's the cutest thing in my life. And I love him to bits without even knowing the guy. So his name is Dax. I'm super happy. Potentially see him on the channel at some point. I'm not all about that though. Like, I don't like showing my personal family stuff on YouTube. At least this channel, just because it's predominantly automotive stuff. But hey, you never know. So yeah, I'm gonna end the video off there. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that like button, smash the notification button. I know it's so cliche, I'm sorry, but it really helps the channel out. My channel is doing decent. I'm still a very, very small fry. I'm okay with that. It feels like I have family on the other end of the screen, so thank you all. I really appreciate it. Thanks for coming on this journey with me that is sometimes just so crazy. You know, like this past year I've had so many vehicles, and some of you have come to the channel and left the channel because the vehicles leave, and I do apologize, but that's life. But anyway, this is an automotive channel. If you like automotive stuff, check out the channel. And if you see something you like the video, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts in the comments. You know, as time is going on, I'm getting a lot more comments in the comment section, which is awesome. I love to see that. So interacting with me is what I like best. I really like getting to know you guys. So don't be afraid. Do not be afraid. Reach out. It's cool. But on that note, I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and I will catch you on the flip side.